Morning everybody. I've come to show you a swap journal that I've completed for Rebekah. I'll put Rebekah's link down below. It's a traveller's notebook insert. Rebekah said she liked eggs and nests, so it's kind of that theme. I actually really like this one. It's not very often you make something and you actually really like it, but I am a little bit in love with this one. It's a card and canvas cover. I will show you that, and it's got this is our bias binding that we have in the UK that I've inked and made a closure with it, because I'm not sure if Rebekah has a traveller's notebook, but what I've done is I've made the cover slightly bigger, which I'll show you in a moment, and she can cut it down if she does get a traveller's notebook. So this closure is just popped through the binding, so you can take that out, Rebekah, if you want to. The cover is like I said, it's a cardstock cover with the canvas, but this could all be trimmed off if you actually want it in a traveller's notebook. I've left it slightly bigger just because it can be used as a journal. So we have some dangle charms. There is a little acorn, there's a bell, and a little lizard. I don't know if you can see that. So it's quite chunky. Rebekah also liked vintage. I've got a little collage on the front here with some Tim Holtz and some lace and some Edith Holden paper and some muslin. There is a little garment pin with some beads on, and in here there are 2 tags. Sorry, I've got another work-related injury. I ran my rotary cutter through my finger yesterday. So there's 2 little cards in there. So let's take a look. This is part of a vintage dressing table doily that I've cut out the embroidery section, inked it around the edge and popped that in. There is the ChicUna little card in there, and this one is from KristyArt. This is a little Edith Holden poem and some muslin. This is an envelope. Now in here, like I said, Rebekah liked vintage, so there is a really old vintage cookery page in there from a book. I've actually got the book here. So it is really old. And this is a train weekly season ticket from 1964. So, and that's an original, so that's in there. So lots of journaling space in here. I've got some ledger paper with a tiny little flower, vintage stamp, another little quote from Edith Holden. This is also a ChicUna, and there's the lovely eggs. I'm really lucky I had these actually, because it took me a little while to hunt out some eggs. So a little tab on that one. This is from a vintage book. It's about British birds, and it wasn't quite the right size to have the right way up. So what I've done is I've stitched 2 pages together so you get the majority of the birds in the page. Little stamp from Mackie Stamps, some gorgeous kind of bluey green trim, a book page pocket with another KristyArtDesign and a book page tag that's been sewn, some lined paper, and I've just stitched a little spare piece of book page, mushroom stamps, fabric pocket, and inside there's a large, I'm not sure if the light has a lot of good here. I've been waiting to get some good light, but this is a sewn book page tag, big one, with a little butterfly and another 2 little journaling cards. This page, I love this book, and actually I've had it for ages and I forgot I had it. It's a touch type lesson book. and it's actually landscape, so it's a really nice size to go into these travellers notebooks. And this is about carbon copying, and this is the letter that you would be expected to type. So there's the little dangle. This comes off. There's a little ChicUna card in there, and this is a little Tim Holtz ephemera butterfly that I've sewn on, hoping these would look a bit like the little antennae. Little scrap of fabric from the pockets. Big page. This is a page that I have printed onto the tracing paper. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but it's actually a pattern that you use to embroider. So I've printed that onto the paper, and it actually looks like it's tea stained where the actual pattern was stained itself. So that looks really cool, but I'm not sure if the camera will pick that up. Some more trim. Big page, and that's the little acorn. On here there's an Edith Holden page with the eggs, and I've just turned that into a small little journaling book. Little poem from, that's not from Edith Holden, but I can't remember the book that's from. No, it's gone. Lovely little Nazy tip-in. Thank you, Nazy. Got a piece of ledger paper here, and I've paper clipped on a piece of vintage lace that you might want to use, Rebekah, and a little vintage stamp. This flips out, and in here we've got another little journaling tag and one of those, go in there, a vintage tea card. And this is again from the Tim Holtz ephemera pack. I've left a little tuck here. Another little book page pocket with a tag. Little collage here, that's also a pocket, and there's one of those ChicUna cards. There's a couple of little tickets. Not sure what they are. Call them tickets, and another one of those little tea cards. It's a bit early in the morning. I've got a sewing pattern page with a little mushroom on there, more trim. And this is the centre of the book, so it's a really nice page actually. It works really well. We've got a whole bird on there. Got these two gorgeous birds with the berries, and then another little bird there. Little scrap of fabric I've sewn on, and I've just popped a garment pin on there with a little bell. Tracing paper, and this is another one of those ChicUna cards. A little quote. I'm trying to go quickly because the kids are going to come down the stairs any minute, noisily. Little fabric pocket. Another journaling tag, and that's another book page tag that I've made. That goes in there. Gorgeous Mackie stamp, ledger paper, little sewn pocket. This is another flip out, got mushroom stamps that side, and another little book page tag with some wisteria. I love wisteria, it's so pretty. It's in there. I'm sorry if I'm rushing. Another little bit of book page, some trim. This is the Edith Holden page and a pocket with a little tag. And this side I've left the poems because they're really, really lovely. This is again from that Tim Holtz ephemera pack, and I've made one of my little tracing paper tags that's sewn round. Little acorn. This is the other side of that beautiful tracing paper. We've got a little charm here. I've just attached a little stamp with a paper clip, and here is another one of those lovely pages from that Tracie, the typing instruction book. So that's just tucks in there. I really, really enjoyed making this journal. I really did. More stamps. And in here we've got another little fabric pocket and another little tracing paper tag. Another quote and a book page pocket with the other half of that wisteria. So that's obviously sewn onto tea stain paper. And this is Now, I didn't know where this idea come from. I couldn't actually remember, but Jibid mentioned in her last video that this is a Nazy floating pocket. So thank you for that, Nazy. I didn't know that the idea came from you. So we've got some rosemary on here, and there's another little ChicUna tag and another little tracing paper tag that I've made. So thanks, Jibid, for letting me know where that came from. I just didn't remember. I don't know who I've seen. Sorry, that's my tummy rumbling. Got another gorgeous little stamp on there. Some more trim. This is the other side of that sewn book page with the birds, and I've made one of my little tracing paper kind of envelopes using the flowers that I photographed recently. Little collage, and that flips out. Another little piece of ledger paper and some more of that trim. Little vintage stamp. That's the last of the ChicUna with the mushrooms on. And this is the back of the envelope, so I've done some stamping up there. And this, I really like this. Well, obviously we're always thinking of things to do with the old Edith Holden book pages. So this is one of the birds in the nest, and on the back there's the bird with the nest and the eggs. And what I've done inside is this side I've sewn another piece, and there's a pocket here, and this is a French dictionary, vintage French dictionary page relating to birds, and this is a little flip up notebook. And what I've done is I've just stitched in a little band so that pulls out and could be replaced. I've stitched this so it's the right way up on both sides, and just popped in some little note paper there. So I thought that was quite a nice little notebook. I usually pop an envelope at the back, but I thought I'd pop in something a bit different in this one. Bird and nest related for Rebekah. So Rebekah, this is your journal. I really hope you like it, because I am really pleased with how it turned out. So thank you so much for watching, and the draw for my giveaway will end on Friday, so if you haven't, please nip over and subscribe and leave a comment. I will check that people are subscribers, because I do want to make it fair, and I have stipulated that you need to be a subscriber to enter the draw. So thank you very much again, and hopefully, I've got a really exciting project coming up. It's a I don't want to tell you too much, but it is a new design team project that I've got, and I've found the most awesome book. I've had it for 5 months, I think, and it's just been sitting around because I didn't know what to do with it, but I'm going to use it for this design team project. So hopefully I've made a good start on that, and that will be finished in the next couple of days. I'm actually doing two books for this design team. So thanks again, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.